hapa mjini. Right, thorn in the flesh is a big headline on the front page of the Standard this morning. They say the return. A year after his ouster, accused of misconduct, corruption and insubordination, Rigathi Gachagua has recast himself as Ruto's loudest foe. He has turned against his former boss, accusing him of running a criminal enterprise from State House, extrajudicial killings and state-backed militias. Fresh from a U.S. tour, he returns to lead the opposition in high-stakes by-elections, a dress rehearsal for the bruising 2027 contest. This is the only story on the front page of the Standard today. There's no other highlight. So they've broken down what the former deputy president has been up to on his 43 days tour of the U.S. from July 9th when he left to August 18th when he held his very last event at Tewksbury in Massachusetts before flying, and is expected to land in Kenya today. Alafu tuone. He is definitely a big discussion. Watu wamesema in his absence, and we'll be looking at the cartoons, wanasema kumbuka ile baba wailiwawe. Sasa kuna moja inasema mama wailiwawe. I don't know why they're saying mama. But then again, one of the things that has happened, and this has been criticism against the united opposition, is that they've been very lull, very boring, very quiet, almost mute in Gachagua's absence. Are you saying that Gachagua is the main guy? Anyway.
And also attributing the fact that there is Chan 2024, so would also be one of the reasons.
A day before the game. I remember one of my panelists saying that yes, they will definitely be at the Kasarani tomorrow.
Yes.
Probably this was set to coincide with that. Remember, President William Ruto is away in Japan.
By the way.
Unless he comes back early for him to be at the Kasarani, then Rigathi Gachagua can actually
also be
take advantage and be at the stadium. Of course, he will not be at the VIP. And what I've been telling Kenyans, if you really want to know members of the Harambee Stars, as we await for the Chan tournament quarterfinal against Madagascar, the Standard has done you a favor. On the very second last page, page 47, they have the pictures, names, ages, and which clubs they play for. Yeah? Because this tournament is for players who play in the local leagues. So Akina Siraj Mohammed wa Gor Mahia, and in fact, most of them are Gor Mahia. I can see Kevin Okumo of KCB. They are all there on page 47 of the Standard. There's a very interesting story there on page 3 of this paper.
Yes.
Court shocker, man not married despite 10-year union and children. So this man has lived with this woman for 10 years.
10 years.
And they have 2 children. Akaenda file for divorce, koti kamwambia nani alikwambia uko umeomoa?
And in fact, alienda kuishi kwake.
Who told you you are married? Wacha kutusumbua hapa.
Akaenda kaambia koti, oh, you know, this wife has been having extramarital affairs.
What extramarital? She's not your wife.
Well.
After 10 years and 2 children, I tell you. Sometimes the law. Anyway, that's a Standard.
Msisimko Gachagua akitua, wanasema hali ya msisimko inatarajiwa leo katika ulingo wa siasa nchini kufuatia kurudi kwa aliyekuwa naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua na pia kiongozi wa chama cha DCP kutoka Amerika ambako amekuwa ziarani kwa zaidi ya mwezi mmoja. Huku akitarajiwa kupokewa kwa mbwembwe na viongozi wa upinzani na wafuasi wake, maafisa wa usalama wameweka katika hali ya tahadhari. Pale chini, mgomo wa wauguzi wazua janga. Wagonjwa katika hospitali kadhaa za umma Machakos wameachwa bila huduma. Na gavana wa kaunti hiyo alikuwa na wasihi, tafadhali rudini kazi, na pia alikuwa anasema kuwa huenda mgomo huu ni umechangiwa kisiasa. Kwingineko, michango ya Kenya Kwanza yaibua tofauti. Unaona pale ile pikipiki. Sema wanasiasa Taita Taveta wakosoa hafla za michango akidai ni ufujaji pesa za umma.
Ile inaitwa empowerment.
Yes. Kwingineko, masuala ya nje. US EU zajadili usalama nchini Ukraine. Lakini pale juu, taarifa kuu, pigo kwa Ruto, koti ikizima jopo. Koti yapiga breki kikosi maalum cha kupambana na ufisadi. Koti ikasema imeweka conservative orders relax.
Ile multi-agency.
Yes.
Anyway, what I was saying, we have so many bodies to fight corruption. Why do we need another one? All right, gazeti la Taifa Leo. Tukizidi zaidi, masuala ya Rigathi Gachagua pia yamepewa kipaumbele kwenye ukurasa wa mbele wa gazeti la The Star. But this time they're talking about the internal rivalry within the so-called united opposition. Major mistrust as Matiang'i Rigathi battle for top job. And I've seen quite a number of people, including government bloggers and propagandists, talking about how Rigathi Gachagua has been talking badly or talking ill of Matiang'i and stuff like that, or even talking ill of Kalonzo Musyoka. Close Gachagua ally brands former minister and NIS agent, Ule Ndegwa Njiru.
Yes.
Is a very close ally of Rigathi Gachagua. In one of the interviews he said, Matiang'i ni jamaa wa NIS. Tell you, siasa. Yes. This is the main story on page 4 and 5 of this paper. Yes. Other stories given prominence, choking under garbage and sewerage. This is Kenya Pipeline ama ni wapi pale?
Hapa ni Pipeline. We were here...
alikuwa hapa.
Yes, we were here last week shooting an episode for Greenfix, just taking a look at how Nairobi is doing when it comes to conservation efforts. And I can tell you that particular your sector environment in Nairobi is really trying to just change how these roads look like. I guess it's progress in that particular place. Kwingineko pale, Harambee Stars midfielder Ben Omondi in the spotlight. I love how different papers are giving spotlight to this.
Because Kenyans don't know their players.
Yes.
Harambee Stars. Mpaka kabla hajafunga bao hamjui. Mpaka afunge bao ndo, oh, you know Harambee Stars. Yeah. Not all of them will get to score, but it's good to know them. This story about MPs imposing new stringent conditions for Kenya Pipeline, that is among the bills that walikuwa na hasira sana wakasema hii ukileta tunaangusha. They had to hide it so that it's not debated in parliament. Others pia ziliangushwa. By the way, walifanya they forced the speaker to adjourn. They went on recess until 23rd of September.
Why?
Because walikuwa hiyo hasira wangeendelea nayo, serikali ingeumia. That's the Star, fresh, independent, different. Ukiwa na 60 shillings, you can grab yourself a copy.
Different headline on the front page of the Daily Nation that says secrets of members of parliament, bribery scandal. The picture, the two speakers of the different houses. On the left, Senate Speaker Amason Kingi, the right, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula. They say members of parliament and analysts are reading a pattern in President Ruto's latest bribery attacks on parliament. Investigations into government scandals, enactment of anti-graft laws, compensation of for victims of state attacks, and a looming hostile probe by the United States. And they quote there the Speaker of the National Assembly, "These allegations are coming when we have a leadership meeting with the executive and the judiciary. We will face each other and ask the hard questions." We wait for those hard questions. Another interesting story for the fans of Mugithi. This is for you. Daily Nation says police free Samido from service. You just might probably be enjoying more Mugithi music from the constable there, Samido himself. Pale juu, why elderly teachers will reap big from 24,000 promotions by the Teachers Service Commission, and as well, but took 505 million Kenyan shillings windfall for villagers in Laikipia after devastating wildfire. Those are the interesting stories on the front page. Kuna yenye umeona the insert. Back page pia tu ni kuzungumzia masuala ya Chan. Ticket wars, watu wamezusha sana, wanasema tickets mara ziko, mara haziko. There's a story there on the back page. Ticket wars not new to CAF competitions. And South Africa great McFish. McFish, jina imenipeleka mbali. I know you can't know that one. He used to be a very serious player for the South African tip. Tips Kenya to beat Madagascar is just heaping praise on his compatriot, the current Harambee Stars coach Benny McCarthy, who's also South African. Yeah. On the People Daily, something similar. Ruto-Raila pact near breaking point. Wanasema they're drawing parallels with what is happening with the MPs now. Na ile asira imekuja. Yes.
And whether or not, because that meeting was actually to discuss issues around the MOU and how they're going to ensure that MOU works, the 10-point agenda, NADCO report. But what came out at the end of the meeting was something different. MPs walikuwa wamekasirika, wakatoka, wengine wakasema one term na wakaenda. What does it mean for the broad-based arrangement going forward? What does it mean also for Ishungwa, the current leader of majority in the National Assembly? The
deadlines between the two.
This paper talks about a fallout, but Ishungwa himself has said, no, there's no fallout. We're still good with the president. I'm here for his beating. Yeah. Another mention of Rigathi Gachagua's return that this paper says will reignite opposition politics. Yes, broad-based chaos, hiyo ndo story kubwa pale. Matters business.
Into business, wealthy counties lost in a new revenue share plan. They say Nairobi among 35 counties that have lost 6.7 billion Kenyan shillings. Poorer counties, including Lamu and Isiolo, gain 3.5 billion Kenyan shillings. Just taking a stock of matters devolution. Remember, yesterday they were also reporting that, one of the dailies reporting that quite a number of the counties haven't received their share, even as financial year imeingia hiyo July. So italeta mhemko. Pale chini, cabinet holds the key to states' sale of extra Safaricom stake. The ticker, energy prices and global tariffs dull CEO's Kenya outlook. Into matters tech firms beat factories banks with a 65 billion Kenyan shillings FDI inflows. Maneno ya banks, Stanchart retains interim dividend, profit falls 21%. That is right on the front page of Business Daily.
Yes, and just a reminder that we'll be discussing these issues, some of these issues, of course, accusations of corruption against Parliament, issues to do with county oversight from the Senate, that debate, as well as matters to do with Rigathi Gachagua's return and what to expect. So governance expert Samson Orao, who happens to be the interim executive director at ActionAid Kenya, will be in studio alongside Senator Tana River Danson Mugatana, Wakili Ishmael Nyaribo, who's a political commentator, and Wilson Sosion, who's a former member of the National Assembly. Do stand by for that, coming your way in a few minutes' time. But before that,